dash cams are mainly used to protect drivers in court, but every once in a while, they record things that seem to border on the realm of the impossible. Many of the people on this list have stories so outrageous that they would never be believed without some form of video evidence. Number 13. Two friends are having a discussion in a car late one night when something unusual and alarming makes them give pause.
I can't see lights. Oh no, that's just street lights.
Okay, that's a bit scary.
Yeah.
That's a bit scary.
That is very scary.
That's
Alright.
Sitting motionless in the middle of the road is what appears to be a pale, almost translucent child, silently regarding them with a blank, featureless face. The two friends ask no questions and immediately get away from the scene before anything else can happen. They weren't sure what to make of this child at the time, but they later suspect that it was in fact an unfriendly spirit waiting for them. If this is not a paranormal encounter, then I think this child was perhaps being used as a distraction for a highway ambush, so it's a good thing they got out of there instead of leaving their car to investigate. Let me know what you would have done in this situation. Number 12. This police cam footage was taken during a massive wildfire in Sonoma County, California in 2017. Officers are doing what they can to evacuate the public and restore order, but as this brief dashcam video shows, they were up against total chaos at the time.
I dispatched someone from the fire department and here is dispatch by accident. He said he is unaware of which way the fire is going. They have so many fires, they can't really keep track at this point, and they also cannot get through.
Listen closely and you'll even hear the dispatcher say that they can't tell which direction the fire is spreading and seems to be genuinely overwhelmed. I have to salute this officer and all of the other brave public officials who willingly charged into a massive blaze to try and help everyone. Number 11. It's a peaceful bus ride in the Russian countryside until the large vehicle finds itself surrounded by a countless number of these winged pests. Everyone inside is terrified as a swarm of gigantic locusts slam into the bus with enough force to rock its heavy-duty suspension system. The sky darkens and the driver and passengers are all helpless as the bus careens through millions upon millions of these oversized bugs, threatening to veer off course if things get much worse. Eventually, they can see the sun and sky again as they come through the other side of the living insect cloud. Everyone is ultimately unharmed, but understandably very alarmed at what they had just witnessed. If the bus had broken down, for example, then they would have been stranded until the never-ending swarm of locusts had passed. Not to mention what would have happened if the windows had broken. Number 10. A police officer in Lincoln, Kentucky is patrolling the streets when he chances upon something quite strange standing in the middle of the road. A tiny figure runs towards his headlights as soon as he gets out of the car to investigate.
Deputy Jeremy Gatney of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office was on a routine patrol when his headlights shone across something running towards him.
The officer is surprised to find a small child standing in the middle of the road without any adults nearby. He instinctively picks the toddler up, and just moments later, a Mack truck plows by very close to where the child was first spotted. It's a good thing the police officer saw the child first, because I doubt the driver of the tall truck would have noticed until it was too late. Apparently, the child had wandered out the front door of his home when no one was looking and took off down the busy road. The family was extremely relieved to have their child back, and fortunately they were not charged with neglect. Number 9. This YouTuber is fairly sure that he's captured a ghost on his dashcam when he's traveling down a suburban road and sees reflective lights on the right. Watch the parked car on the right to see what I mean.
So, you know.
Yeah.
I personally think it looks like someone could be stepping into his line of movement here. It happens quickly, so I'll play it again in slow motion. Let me know if you see it. But when he pulls up to where the lights were, he and his friends are surprised to find nothing's there.
Where did it go?
Public radio, internet.
They walked in front of the car, right?
Yeah, it was like a wheelchair or something.
Both of them swear they saw the lights and thought someone was crossing the street. I guess his headlights could have been reflecting off of the parked car, but then again, the angle doesn't exactly seem to match up. Let me know if you see it and what you think it could have been. Number 8. A gigantic streak of lightning in Paducah, Kentucky was so large that it was caught by 2 different police dash cams. The first police car was far away, and its dashcam footage shows just how long this massive lightning bolt was, and the second police car was much closer.
If you could go back through it, well, 2 reasons. One, it would be.
The lightning bolt directly hit a nearby residence. Fortunately, everyone inside was alright, but this particular officer will never forget how close he came to being charred alive. Number 7. A Russian driver is having a casual conversation behind the wheel when suddenly his thoughts are interrupted by a bizarre and unexpected change of events. A large cement truck just a few cars ahead of them literally plunges below the asphalt as a gigantic sinkhole forms underneath its back tires. The cement truck driver soon comes out and surveys what just happened, but there's little for him to do. If anything, he and everyone else should be hurrying to get away from the sinkhole instead of casually observing it. I don't know what happened next, but hopefully the sinkhole did not grow any larger and everyone made it out okay. Number 6. This electrifying event occurred in May of 2017 on the northeastern side of Shenyang City. A white-hot light showers the street with sparks, but it's not from a blown transformer or down power lines. A bolt of lightning has cracked the asphalt with the type of raw power that only nature can generate. It's a good thing that this street was lined with trees instead of power lines, or else this dashcam video would have almost certainly looked a whole lot worse. Number 5. This dashcam footage was taken on a busy road somewhere in India. Nothing looks out of the ordinary until a tiny object performs a bizarre aerial maneuver while hovering above the road. The saucer-shaped object appears to somehow stop and change directions mid-flight. Somehow, none of the oncoming motorists in the other lane seem to notice, which I think is odd, but maybe it all happened too fast for them to see. If not, then I think this dashcam video might be a fake, but I'm curious to hear your opinion. Number 4. A YouTuber named Alyssa Cross is driving down a local road somewhere in the south when she comes across a person who she has never seen before acting quite strangely by the side of the road. You can hear the nervousness in Alyssa's voice as she and her friend agree that it looks like this person could have some sort of strange virus. Zombie or not, one can only wonder how many other viral outbreaks began in this exact same casual style of conversation. It appears that if that's not the case, then this person is under the influence of something strong. Alyssa quietly drives past and leaves the stranger behind. Number 3. This mysterious dashcam footage was taken somewhere in Europe years ago and has been stumping YouTubers across the world ever since. When this car takes a left, you can clearly see that all of the other cars in the opposite lane are at a full stop. In other words, there's absolutely no incoming traffic. Then all of a sudden this happens. The car is suddenly cut off by a second car that appears seemingly out of nowhere. Keep in mind that 2 other cars were making a right at the same time, and at no point does there appear to be any space for this ghost car to squeeze through. I've watched this video over a dozen times and still have no explanation, so help me out if you have any idea how this happened. Number 2. Ronald Wiley was driving down a long stretch of road in West Virginia when suddenly no less than 7 trees simultaneously fall nearly on him in his blue pickup truck. He's stunned for a moment and then quickly throws the vehicle in reverse because there are live power lines near that look like they could give way at any moment if Ronald had been going just a little bit faster, or if the trees were growing literally just a few inches to the left. Then he no doubt would have been caught in the middle of this and been a goner for sure. Instead of this outcome, he somehow makes it with only minor damage to a windshield wiper. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I'm currently doing a super poll on my Instagram. If you believe ghosts are real, then go to my most recent photo and tap the like button. If you don't, DM me saying why. When you're done, come right back to this video to find out the number 1 entry. Also, follow me on Twitter at YTChills because that's where I post video updates. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new videos I upload every Thursday and Sunday. Number 1. It's late at night in the Russian Urals when suddenly the atmosphere itself becomes unrecognizable. A brilliant flash of reddish yellow light intensifies for a full 15 seconds before dissolving back into darkness as if nothing had happened. Scientists have been able to give no explanation for this occurrence, though this looks like it could possibly be a blast in my opinion. Give me your best guess or let me know if you agree. Either way, this dazzling and silent light show is one of the craziest things I've seen on dashcam by far. Surveillance systems are supposed to keep you secure, but all too often this feeling of extra safety is simply just an illusion. Bad things can always happen in an instant, and during these types of situations, all a surveillance system can do is document the scary events as they unfold.